Greetings, programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews. I'm aware that it has been quite a while since we looked at a Transformer proper. I've actually filmed and been in the process of editing several a little bit more complicated Transformers. I've actually borrowed some third-party, really cool stuff from Zacchaeus, but not quite happy with the videos. I might actually just go see about asking to borrow the figures again so I can reshoot them. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and review something that, while it's not a new figure by any means, I only just got this thing, and I'm so glad I did. Transformers Bumblebee Studio Series Brawn. I adore this weird little figure. Now, worth mentioning to anyone who is curious or still has some Christmas shopping to do, Walmart, in their seasonal aisle, where they have all their random gift stuff, has a whole bunch of deluxe Studio Series Transformer 2-packs, where it's two deluxe class figures for $25. So that is the way I got this guy. I never even saw this guy normally on the shelf, but I found him in the 2-pack. He came with the Ratchet, which we will be looking at in probably the next video. And I love this thing. I love this thing so much. This is going to be another one of those gush mode videos. I'm so happy with this guy. Now, out of the way now, yes, this is one of those Cybertronian thing modes that you get so often, which I know some people really don't care for that. If you're one of them, I get it. I have such a love of I'll just be honest. I have a deep love of bad sci-fi movies where it was just a pile of trash and they said it was a thing. That I adore these janky, messy alt modes like this. So this does it for me. I am actually kind of impressed at how little obvious robot there is here. You know that it's going to unfold and do stuff. And, the feet are a little obvious from certain angles. But for the most part, it's not actually blatantly obvious how this works. Because it does work in kind of a weird, neat way. I do have his accessories already stored on him. He comes with this rifle up here. Again, with Studio Series figures, really, really nice molding. It does have a number of the smaller, I think 3 mil or 2.5 mil, probably 3 mil. It's got different ports and pegs on it so that you can do some different things with it that we'll try to go over. My only complaint, quote unquote, with this figure is that apparently I think it's the plastic on this rifle shrunk a little extra or something. Because the handle is too small for things to fit tightly. The little ports are really loose. And I've used this with other figures and it's not the ports on Brawn, it is the rifle that is off. So I'm probably going to have to hit this with some, clear clear nail polish or something to make things a little bit tighter on it so it works a little better, but not a big deal. Still a really, really neat looking blaster. Taking it off does expose the big hole in the back here, which still kind of works in its way, especially with this big drill thing on the front. I can see that as almost being some kind of debris pass through or something. So I can imagine this thing drilling down in and you see rocks and everything just flying out this hole in the back. I think that'd actually be kind of neat. But if you don't want the static non-spinning drill thing on the front, then just fold it down, pop it off. There you go. They, instead of having just a exposed peg there, or port, they actually have a little fold down grate for the front. I like that. I like that a lot. Here's a more up close shot of the stabity thing. A couple ways you can merge this with this thing. Kind of the primary is putting it up on top like that. Just get it out of the way. I think it's a little more fun put on the end like that. Treat it as like a war crime bayonet. Because, three like triangular daggers and knives like this, they're actually a thing in real life. And they're illegal in basically every country. Because other knives have other uses. This has one use. Stab something, make a really big hole in it, so that all the blood goes on the outside instead of the inside. So, yeah, this little guy's packing some serious weaponry, actually. But, even with all the accessories taken off, it's just this fun little thing. It actually rolls very, very well for having this style of wheel. So, yeah, overall, I like the alt mode quite a bit. And I adore the robot mode. So let's go ahead and stop talking about the alt mode and get to the robot mode. So, first thing you're going to do is come in here and kind of rotate the leg sections here. Because you're trying to first get this tab out of that slot there. And then you're going to take this slot off of this tab so that you get the legs freed. Same thing over here. Rotate it out. Go ahead and... oh, wait, no. Turn the legs this way, if I remember right. Because you then come over here, fold the feet out, and this little spot will kind of go up and rest in there. It's not like a hard pegging point or anything, but it will just rest in there. Then rotate the leg all the way around like that. And there you've got his legs. Spin the upper part around so that you've got the Autobot insignia in the front. Come up here and fold out the arms. There are these little pegs sticking out inside the cockpit that are resting in these little spots. They don't really peg in. There's no like real friction or anything, but it just kind of helps line things up and keep things in place for the alt mode. Go ahead and shift the shoulder out. And then one of the things that you do have to do in order to get the arms in there is make his elbows look broken. So go ahead and use the double jointed elbows here to shift them back. Put his arm actually in alignment. Same thing over here. Let's bring that out. Make the arm unbroken. Take the front wheels here, fold this up. And while we've got the backpack open, I want to point out something I love. The clear windshield is not this entire section. It's just the windshield. This is actually yellow plastic, which means there's not a whole bunch of stress and strain going on clear plastic. I like that. They need to do this more often. I know it's going to be more work, but this figure is going to have so much more longevity because of this. Anyway, fold the wheels down, put them in there. Go ahead and push up the head. It will click into place. Fold this part up all the way. And there you've got Bumblebee Studio Series Brawn in his robot mode. And I love this thing so much. Like, this is probably my favorite deluxe class figure ever. This guy has actually dethroned this figure. I cannot think of this thing's name off the top of my head whenever I need to know it. I love that figure. I love it a lot. For years, it was my favorite deluxe class. This guy has finally dethroned him. I love this little, like, dwarf fighter energy that comes from him. Face sculpt is Weird and kind of messy, as is most figures from this line. But it's not bad. Nice, shiny helmet there. Insanely clean. Like, the spot where the legs are folding around really ends up with being the only like real hollow point on him. You can argue the bottom of the feet. You'd be an idiot if you would sit there and nitpick over that. This is such a good, solid little figure. And yes, he is a little small for deluxe class. But given how, frankly, kind of perfect this robot mode is, I do not care. Posability on him, the head, I believe this is a ball joint, but because of how wide the head is, you really only end up with a rotation. You do have a little bit of butterfly, just the tiniest little bit left from the transformation there. Ball joint in the shoulders, full rotation, goes out all the way. There is a hinge right there underneath the shoulder to get a rotation. It's a little limited, but it's all it needs to be. Double jointed elbows gets you really good range. He does have a rotating wrist, since he doesn't have to fold his wrists up. That's kind of the trade-off on deluxe class figures. They either hide the wrist or they have a moving wrist. I will always take the moving wrist. Well done, sir. Well done. Waist rotation, kicks forward all the way, kicks back all the way. Chunky thighs, so he can't quite do the splits, but there's kind of a character in him being so stout and only getting his legs out that far. I don't care. No thigh rotation, actually, but there is a hinge just above the knee that gives you the same effect. Single joint, but still a little bit past 90 degrees of bend. Ankle rocker, because it's a Studio Series figure. Bend down the front of the toes with the transformation joint. This is just a great little figure. In this mode, you do still have this tab on the back, so if you want, you can go ahead and put the rifle back there. And even with the looseness issues mine has, it does still stay back here just fine. It's easy to knock it off and, things like that, but it will at least stay under its own power, so that's nice. You can go ahead, put the war crime dagger on his back. I'm sure YouTube's going to get mad at me just for saying that phrase, but whatever. Go ahead, give him his things. Kind of the only real drawback I see is just the way that they molded, or I guess technically sculpted this rifle. They should have done a little cutout right there so that I could actually push this tab all the way into his hand, or the peg, the handle, the whatever. That should have had just a little bit removed right there. I might even just grab a hobby knife and do that myself. But all things considered, this is such a good little figure. I'm sure plenty of people are wondering why I haven't said it. Yes, this guy looks like the Doom guy. He looks a lot like the Doom guy. And I do already have a kit on the way. Gives him the visor and the different weapons so that this guy just is the Doom guy, or Doom Slayer, I guess he is now. He'll always be Doom guy to me. But great figure. And like I said, right now you can go to Walmart, get him and a Ratchet. I believe that they are all like this guy and Ratchet. I don't think they randomized the packages at all from what I've seen. You can get it on their website. Go get Thing. It is worth buying just for this guy. If you don't want the Ratchet, give the Ratchet to a friend. This is a good figure too. Spoilers for when he gets his video. This is a fun figure too. If you don't want it for whatever reason, this is not going to be unloading junk on someone. You know, someone will be happy to get this. This is deluxe class magic, though, and you owe it to yourself to snag this guy if you get a chance. So, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.